Hello, good evening everybody, and welcome to round number 5. Round number 5 of the North American Grand Prix Monday night. Formula Lotus Series coming to you live from Brands Hatch in the UK. Very difficult circuit here tonight. It's going to be a good one. Introduce my broadcast partner before we go any further. Brad Maris, welcome.
Yeah, always good to be here once again, Al. Contesting the 5th round of this championship here on the British Isles. I'm really looking forward to this one, Al. Quite a test here tonight. Much different track than they had last week, but kind of similar in that it can really catch you out if you aren't careful. This is gonna be a good one. Just flipped over to qualifying here, Al.
Yeah, we have just jumped over to qualifying and yeah, 9, let me bring up the track map real quick while these guys make their way around. 9 corners. You can see not really, that turn 1, it's going to be very difficult, Brad. The whole first sector, very tricky. One long straight down in the middle of the track. And the back section, very fast sweeping corners. Getting on to the last 2 corners, 8 and 9, another fast sweeper. What do you think? I mean, we saw last season a couple, we raced here in the Formula Masters, and man, we saw a lot of guys going off track, and a lot of dirt flying.
Well, there's a good possibility we're going to see the same thing tonight, so it's just really easy to carry too much speed into the corners on entry, and that's what these guys are really going to have to watch for. You have to be a little concerned with some of the curbing on the exits. If you're carrying maximum speed, you know, you're going to go to the outside of the track there and get on that curbing, and you know, if the guys want to challenge that, they're going to have to be very careful about that. But the main thing is on entry, there's no corner around this track, like quite a few others where we run at that are not important. So you got to get all these corners right if you want to put in a great qualifying.
Jumping on board now with Luis Nieto here for a lap around this track on board, and man, a much trickier car to drive this season than last, so it'll be interesting. You know, and go ahead.
It is a bit more difficult in some ways, but it's a little easier in others. The grip threshold is actually, it's not as great as it was for the Formula Masters, but it's also a little easier to save those slides with this Lotus 72D. So yeah, a bit of a different challenge, and yeah, I just suggest kick back and take in this lap from Luis Nieto.
So Luis going to turn 5 now. That's the end of that middle straight. And yeah, a series of pretty fast sweeping corners here. Turn 6 coming up on turn 7. You can really carry a lot of speed through here, but you have to be very careful not to run wide. Get caught out. Very easy. This turn 8. You get on the throttle too early, you can find yourself out into the weeds really easy. Leading up to this final turn 9. It's actually a pretty fun corner. Get it right, carry a lot of speed out of that last corner. Pretty quick lap here around Brands Hatch. Nieto carrying a bit of weight here for this event. Went up to divisional pole for about half a second. And Parsons just snatched that away with the 22.6. We saw a lot of guys at practice running in the 23s, 24s, but these times are going to start to drop here.
Yeah, it's interesting. We saw some of those times set on the hard tires, or at least there's an indication of the hard tires on some of the stuff we use to view that. So it's interesting. They could have set those times on the softs and switched over, but I did see some. See if that holds true here during the race.
Ronnie Nunez. See him just taking a little wide there. We're at the gaps. Ronnie a little behind in the first sector. So Ronnie and Chris have the best. He's coming off there. A lot of smoke and debris.
Moses.
Yeah, there goes Moses. Speaking of Moses and Nunez had the top 2 times in the practice session. 3 thousandths of a second split those 2 guys. It's a 22.9 Parsons. setting the pace here early. So Ronnie not going to improve. Meanwhile, Matt Taylor improves to a 23 flat, so he's up to second, carrying 35 kilograms of balance, same weight as Nato. Changes from last week. Big update from AC. Really change fuel reload times and the damage repair times in these cars, and turned out to be a bit of a debacle for some of these guys. Most notably, Bruce Moses here, and Eiran Parsons also got cut out. With, these guys had some damage, got caught in the pits for pretty lengthy pit stops up around 4 minutes, so those guys dropped a bunch of time. So cars have been adjusted now to bring the repair times down a bit, and things closer, a little bit closer to where they were. So Chris Moses 23 flat, so he jumps up to the second position.
And let's not forget, if I can jump in real quickly, Alex, Chris Moses and Eiran Parsons, both those drivers were in the top 3 there in our Drivers' Championship to start the event last week, but as a result of having those pit lane troubles, came away with no points for either of those guys, and has shaken up the points as a result. I'm sure we'll get to that momentarily.
Let's not forget, Parsons was running in the top 5 there as well. When he had his issues. I think Parsons actually ran out of fuel, if I'm not mistaken. That was the case with Parsons. He ran out of fuel. Moses, I think Marty, a few other guys were really mired with the pit stops. So. Watching Jonathan Cuppet now. Cuppet continues to impress here in these qualifying sessions. He's been qualifying quite well, but it hasn't translated all that well into the race. He's put himself in some trouble the last couple of weeks, but really set some nice qualifying times. As Marty now jumps up to 7th. Marty with a nice lap.
Yeah, very nice time for Marty. I want to go quickly back to Jonathan Cuppet. I'm thinking of Jonathan Cuppet. I'm thinking of a couple of the guys out there. Sorry, Al. Let me run down the list real quick here. I'm thinking John Houston. I'm thinking some of these other guys. This is a track where somebody who has really done their homework, really gotten the setup wired in, has a good game plan for the track tonight, can really do something pretty special if other guys run into trouble. There could be some guys up on this leaderboard by the end of the race who don't ordinarily talk about being up there by the end of these races, and I'm going to keep an eye on that.
So Luis Nieto just jumps up to provisional pole with 22. Let's not forget, Luis is carrying a ton of weight here for tonight's race. Currently second in the Drivers' Championship, so big slide there for Luis. Behind in that first segment for him. He's going to back out of it. Marty Nunez, even through the first split, takes it wide, but manages to hang on to it. Off in the second sector, so he keeps it together here. It looks like he's gonna dip into the 22s here.
Certainly have a chance to challenge. Sorry,
I was just gonna say these two guys, Ronnie and his teammate Lewis, got qualifying 1 and 2 last week at Paul Ricard. We'll do the same here tonight, and Ronnie, he does, but. Good enough for second, 22.6 for Ronnie, just behind Eiran Parsons.
Impressive lap from Luis Nieto with those 35 kilograms.
Race See, last season, track record currently held by Matt Taylor with a 21 flat. I don't think we're going to get to that point here tonight. Like, guys are going to be as quick as we were here last season. There was one track, I believe, last season where these guys were a bit quick. Not the case here tonight. Moses up in the first sector. It's a good lap for Moses. Even in sector 2. Tidy.
It's a dangerous turn 8. Yeah, pretty well. You actually maintained some good throttle there.
Lost some time there in the final sector. I think it was a little too conservative there through turn 8. A lot more track there to use, but 22.7 for Moses, good enough for 4. Let's see now, championship leader Matt Taylor in 5th, also carrying 35 kilograms, mentioned that. Best lap of a 23 flat. Yeah, we're suffering a bit there in the second sector. Nunez now up in sector 1. Coming to the line. Not going to improve on his time. Cupper running in 6. Kevin Kirkbride now in 7. So Kevin having a good showing here tonight in this qualifying session. 24 flat. His best time, Marty Uren in 8th. John Houston anguishing a bit back here in this session. He's carrying 20 kilograms of success ballast currently in 9th. Chuck Carter in the top 10. He is in 10th. His teammate John Watson right behind him in 11th. Watson, big slide. Just to hang on. Wow. Let's go back out of it. Looks like Nunez had a mistake there in the final sector. He lost a bunch of time. And Mike Braychuk's currently in 12th. A lot of traffic out here around Braychuk's currently. Braychuk's on a flyer. He's going to let some guys past. Let's see here. Greg Byers running in 13th. Kevin Miller back here in 14th, followed by Sam Rolfe. Jack Ivey running in 16th. Chandler currently in 17th, followed up by Ryan Story exiting the pit lane. Joe Calderon running in 19th. Mascarelli in 20th. 21st is Omar Gomez and Douglas in the pit lane. Flashing light indicates driver is in the pits. So back up front, it is Luis Nieto. He backs out of it. He had a pretty good run. Parsons now starting the flyer, currently in 2nd.
Yeah, nothing changed up here toward the top. Nobody really is bettering their times as of yet. So I think that these guys, after kind of banking a lap, perhaps getting a good lap in now, are starting to push the envelope a little bit, not coming up with much success just yet.
Parsons even in the first sector has got a little bit of traffic up ahead. Jakarta just run a personal best 24.2. Houston now has jumped up to 10th position. I think Houston might be struggling a bit here tonight.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right, Al.
Parsons quickly gaining on the car ahead. This might hurt him here. Even in sector 2. Lets him pass. It's going to be a good lap for Parsons. Big lurch there on exit. Parsons does not. Lost some time there in the final sector.
Yeah, it sure looks like Lewis put down a great third sector. And, that's the point where these guys are having trouble matching that pace.
Nunez with a good first split.
Boy, under 10 to go. Still plenty of opportunities to get a good lap in, but they are starting to run out just a little bit.
Nunez behind a 10th there in sector 2. Yeah, it does look like Nieto put together really fine final second. Nunez not going to improve. So it's still Nieto, Parsons, and Nunez your top 3. Matt Taylor just starting a flying lap here, really taking it wide there. Turn 3. Oh, gets him wrong there, turn 4. We have to bring it back in.
Wrong.
Yep. So Nunez is back at it here. He's on a flyer.
Yeah, him and Chris Moses now. Both good through the first sector.
Nunez even in sector 2. 10th off in the final in the first sector. Moses losing a bunch of time in sector 2. Chuck Carter now jumps up to 7. So great qualifying session here tonight for Chuck.
Yeah, and he's one of the surprises out there.
Nunez, wow, picks up a bunch of time in the sector 3 and takes over provisional pole by just about 0.02 of a second over his teammate. So now it is Nunez 1 and 2. His teammate. Play of last week, Brad.
Well, replay of the qualifying, replay of the finishing result as well last week. So the Monty Python's Racing Squad coming on strong out.
Parsons, he's got a good first sector time.
Wow, double shift into third from fifth. Really trying to hold the momentum. Oh!
That took it wrong. It's that easy. Oh, big impact from Parsons. Taylor trying it again. He is back out there. Just over 6 minutes left here in this session.
Yeah, time's really getting tight, and now you'll really start to see some of these guys take some big chances here.
Taylor just a 10th off in the first sector.
So tough to control the front end on these Lotuses.
tenths up in sector 1. He's got a good lap going.
Yeah, Moses has been faster through the first sector here. The majority of his laps has not been able to hold it together.
Time quickly winding down, under 5 minutes to go.
Whoa!
That's a close call there for Cuppin. Lost a bit of time there in the second split.
Yeah, he got through the corner really well too, so that was an unfortunate circumstance there for Chris.
It's a green lighting up. Moses. It's up, Cuppin. Doesn't look like he will improve. Moses now coming to the line. Moses personal best 22.7, so personal best for him does not improve his position. Look at the lap times. It's really tight up front. The top 4 drivers just about 3 tenths of a second separating those 4. Parsons now up big in sector 1. Oh, takes it a bit wide. Does for him, if it hurts him or not. Doesn't look like it hurt him all that much.
All the way down to second. The last corner. Huh.
For Parsons. Moses once again up in sector 2. Coming to the line. Ooh, and he does improve. Lost a bit of time in the final sector, but bumps Parsons down a spot, down to 4th, so nice lap there from Moses. Parsons looking to counter here. He's a lot of green. These guys really quick in the first 2 sectors.
Moses up huge.
Yep. In sector 1. Parsons using all of the track there. He is up in sector 2. Whoa! Moses up big in sector 2. Parsons to the stripe. He jumps up to 3rd. 22.5. Moses, can he respond?
I think he's got a shot here, Al.
He does, to provisional pole with the 22.3. 1 minute 30 to go. Great lap. Now, Nunez starting a flyer here. He may have time if he gets across the line. He may have a shot for 2 laps here. He's got a little bit of traffic up ahead. Mike Greatrix. Big time in the first sector. He's done. He's gonna get out. Nope. Got a little something in the rear. Nieto in the pit box. Those guys are done. Parsons. He's rolling out. Cuppin just started a flyer here. Let's see if he can jump up a spot here. Try and Taylor down a spot.
Parsons is just going to make the line for one last gasp out.
So your top 3 in the pits. Kevin Kirkbride, he sets his personal best 22.5. race 7, I believe it was. He's up to 7th now. He's coming way off in sector 1. Checkers are out. Looks like Parsons got it in time.
He did.
Losing all of that curbing there.
That's not going to help us.
Well, that ain't gonna do it. Let's see who's still out there. Is everybody in the pits? Holland still out. Trying to improve on his time. Whoa! Is he gonna save it? Wow, it does. Really takes it into the grass. Oh, that's it. Oh boy. Stand by.
Uh-oh. Bit of a problem here with the race time counter, folks, so hang on, I'll adjust those settings. Well, we figure something out with it. But if it doesn't distract them too bad, I'll remind everybody that just wrapped up qualifying here at Brands Hatch.
Brad, go into the other channel. Tell him to do his thing and let me know when they're ready to go.
I'm sorry, I'll tell him to do what?
See, have him do his countdown, his pre-race thing. And
Okay.
just keep restarting the session. Sorry, folks, technical difficulties here.
Okay, message passed along, Al. Well, it's kind of a funny circumstance. But here before too long, we'll kick off the...
Yeah. Have him let me know when he's ready. Tell him ask him how much time he needs after he's done.
I'll just have him jump up.
Yeah, you would like to type in on the server when it's the real deal.
How much time you need?
Oh, can you change it? We only got 20 seconds.
No, I'm just resetting this session. Just let me know how much time you need.
Okay, wait about a minute, and then type something in on the chat. Make sure everyone's watching.
Type something in the chat in like a minute. And then tell me when.
Okay.
Tell him it's starting in 20 seconds. Not, after a minute.
It's hard. It resets all the chat every time it restarts.
Has everybody moved into their channels and shit, all that stuff?
No. Okay. What do you think? You want to give it a shot? Let the timer run down, if you would, Al. Next time you reset it to 10 seconds, please. After you reset it this next one. Okay.
Everybody ready? Reset.
Let's hope so.
Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. We are live from Brands Hatch. Sorry about that delay. It's going to be Moses leading them into the field, leading the field into turn one. Off to a great start. Who started the session here? Okay, here we go. Sorry about that. We are now live. And we're away. Here, as it looks like Ronnie Nunez takes over the lead here early on. Got Nunez and Nieto got a good hole shot here on Chris Moses. So Moses slips down to third. It is Nunez, Nieto, Moses, and Parsons now in fourth.
Chuck Carter retired here right after the start. Don't know what's going on with that. That's unfortunate right there. Chuck Carter, great starting.
We're away here. Matt Taylor running in fifth, followed by Cuppet. Looks like a pretty clean start by the field. Don't see any incidents really. Alright, so one lap down, it is Nunez, followed by Nieto, and Chris Moses in third. On board with Eiran Parsons. Parsons put a lot of pressure on Moses here to start this race. Nieto put a lot of pressure on his teammate as well up there. That's for first.
Yeah, and did we catch what happened to Chris Moses there? How did he lose out on that pole position?
Looks like he got away. Bit of a slow start there, guys. Nieto and Nunez the advantage at the start. Wow. A little further back here, Rachel just put some pressure here on Kevin Miller. Greg Myers now up to 11th. Kirkbride up there in 10th. Matrix continuing to pressure Kevin Miller here. This is for 8th.
You want to try to keep the pressure on, you want to get the mistake, you want to get the position, but boy, another tough 37 laps to go around this place. Got to show a little bit of caution to it.
inside of Kevin Miller. Gets the pass made. Nice overtake there by Mike Rachels. Very nicely done.
Yeah, it was, and it was patient.
Moses put some pressure here on Luis Nieto for that second position. Oh, let's not forget Nieto carrying success ballast here, 35 kilograms of ballast. Eiran putting pressure on Jonathan Cuppett. This Miller-Matrix battle still going on. Miller looking to respond here for that pass that Matrix has put on him.
Boy, it's so easy to make the tiniest mistake here in these 72Ds, and your competition's just buying a flash.
Kevin Miller losing ground here to Mike Rachix. Rachix starting to pull away. Here now with Marty Eiran. Marty up to 7th.
A better run thus far than we've seen from Marty in a few of the events here in season 29.
Yeah, Marty had his best result last week at Paul Ricard. Actually, I take that back. He did have a great run goal and got ran into some trouble late in that race. But the battle for second really heating up here between Moses and Luis Nieto. Going to jump on board with Chris Moses. Aaron Parsons right behind these two.
Yeah, as well you should jump on board with him. I tell you, Chris Moses right now is very inclined to get the pass made here quickly. He sees Ronnie Nunez rocketing off into the distance, and if you're Chris Moses, you feel like you got some pretty good pace. And he does not want to see Ronnie Nunez too far out in front by the time he makes his pass, but oh man, this is a tough ask here around this place.
Parsons now, this is the battle for second. Nunez sets fast lap of the race, 23.9.
Boy, what a lap in qualifying Luis Nieto put in with those 35 kilograms of success valves. We see it's not working out for him so well in the race, but doing one heck of a job holding these would-be points contenders at bay from teammate Ronnie Nunez right now.
Continue to follow this battle. Matt Taylor just saw him coming in the picture, currently in 5th. Parsons. Nieto continues to look very quick through that final sector. I don't know what he's got going on there, but he picks up a lot of time on Moses and Parsons through that final sector. Parsons may have a look at Moses here for 3rd. Continues to set personal best. Moses is going to hang on to that spot. Nunez now 2.5 seconds up.
Yeah, he sure is. It's a brief respite here for Luis Nieto. I suspect he will come under fire once again pretty rapidly.
Someone's taking it off. Douglas with a big slide, and it looks like that is John Lofton with a big time spin in the back. He is now back to 19th. John Houston, he is well off the pace. He is back in 20th. Parsons has made his way past Chris Moses for third. Meanwhile, this battle between Marty and Cuppa continues to heat up. Jump on board with Marty Eiran. He's putting a lot of pressure on Cuppa. This is for sixth.
Yeah, I almost have to call it best of the rest. We were watching the boys up front there battle, but plenty of good battles going on in the pack for now. I think we will see some gaps open up here over the course of this race, but very close action at the moment for sure.
Big slide there from Marty. He's going to drop loose up a little bit on Cuppa after that. A mistake.
Yeah, so easy, and once again, to get the braking a little bit wrong, and once you do lose the grip on the front end, it is so difficult to get it back.
Nice battle brewing here between both Greg Myers and on board with Brian Story. Story back in 13. Trying to make his way past Mike Raytrix. This is for 8th. Raytrix having a very strong race here tonight.
Yeah, he really is, and he was part of the second contingent that was kind of grouping together. Chuck Carter, unfortunately, we lost him. Kevin Miller's still out there, putting in good laps, and of course, Jonathan Cuppa up there at 6th. All those guys looking very sharp.
Best there to reel in Mike Raytrix. Now we got teammates. Greg Myers, Sam Rolfe trying to look to make the move on his teammate Rolfe, taking it well wide.
Yeah, and Gregory Myers has got to be loving this competition with this car, especially at a track like this. This is these kind of situations were designed around Gregory Myers' driving style. Wouldn't be surprised to see if anything happens. Wouldn't be surprised to see him slip into a top 5.
Oh, whoa! Getting it a bit wrong. On these guys. So nice three-way battle here. But back up front, Parsons now putting the pressure on Luis Nieto for second.
And it does look like here in the end, over the last couple laps anyway, Aaron Parsons has been able to settle down, show a little bit better speed than fourth place Chris Moses at the moment. But ever expanding that Ronnie Nunez gap at the front.
Parsons as he tries to chase down Luis Nieto.
Yeah, Moses had the first crack, could not get it done. Let's see what Aaron Parsons can manage to do. That Aaron Parsons gap actually in third place to our leader Ronnie Nunez. You know, that gap has held steady. At about, 4.5, 4 seconds, kind of vacillates a little bit, but running a similar pace to leader Ronnie Nunez is Aaron Parsons.
So the pit stop should take roughly, I believe, if I'm mistaken, close to a minute. Maybe slightly less. Aero damage. Of course, if you go in with aero, it's going to take a bit longer, but...
Well, all of our top positions are running the soft tires now. Didn't get enough recon laps to get an idea of how those soft tires are going to hold up over the course of the stint. If we do see somebody try some shenanigans and go for that two-stop strategy, we'll see that come up pretty quickly, but I kind of doubt we're going to see any of that going on tonight, Al.
Yeah. Most of these runners will probably pit around lap 19, 20. Moment. Eiran Parsons really putting the heat on Lotus for the second position. Parsons
he's
just
got the helmet strapped on.
Just ran his personal best lap of the race, 23.8. Not an easy track to get by somebody at.
No, you more or less have to get a mistake. I mean, more or less.
Opportunity is probably turn 1.
Yeah, for sure. If you get a good run coming off of turn 1, then you have a slight possibility, if you can manage to get the inside, there into 2, but yeah, it's a difficult proposition.
Ooh, XXIX is falling back a couple spots. It's like Miller's jumped up to 8, so missed some action there in the back. XXIX is falling back to 11. He's running in the top 10. Greg Myers now in the top 10.
Laps here at Brands Hatch, no doubt about it.
Sam Wolf's falling back a couple spots as well, so starting to reel in XXIX. Run again real quick. Follow this battle between Parsons and Nieto. These laps quickly winding down here, Brad. Already working lap 12 at 39.
Yeah, they are. They've been intense laps, and I think I'm concentrating maybe not as hard as some of the guys in the cockpit, but as a result, the time has slipped away here pretty quickly. Stops will be coming up before too long, and perhaps Eiran Parsons can take advantage of some type of strategy here to vault himself past Lotus.
Yeah, you gotta wonder, does he stay out, try and pick up some time on track, and then come in and pit if Nieto comes in early? See how that plays out.
Yeah, well, looking at the lap times, there's no drop-off yet in the performance on those tires, so still a viable option at this point, but Lotus, he's plenty veteran, so he's not going to be giving anything up easy to Eiran Parsons here with strategy or track position, no doubt. Yeah, interesting to see Chris Moses just continually falling off the pace, giving up a couple 3/10 a lap per lap here over the last 5 or 6, so losing a little bit of ground, perhaps putting those tires under a bit of duress early didn't help them.
Parsons, no answer at the moment for Nieto, just unable to get past. Nieto's been getting a great run off the final 2 corners, not allowing Parsons to really get up close to him. Parsons,
that really has been the difference. Yeah. Yeah, that really has been the difference. There's just really nowhere else on track to look for that pass without a mistake. But yeah, something not helping out these guys is there's quite a bit of arrow wash generated through some of those sweeping corners as well. So not helping out Aaron Parsons right now.
Nieto. Nunez resets fast lap with a 23.5. Kirkbride has run into some trouble. He's taken it off, and someone else has gone off. It looks like that's Brian Story. Kirkbride back to 13th. Chandler now up to 12th. So we've got a bit of a shake-up in the back. John Houston looking to get past Omar Gomez. This is for 15th. And looks like Houston does make the pass. So Houston now in the points.
Yeah, looks like we have our first stopper here. Kevin Miller coming in from, and Great Truck's right behind him here on lap 13.
Take a look at Miller here, see what kind of... Oh, he's away, so we could stop Brian Story in the pits as well, so you gotta wonder if these guys are two stopping it.
Yeah, don't know.
As the leaders now already coming up on lap traffic here. This is going to be a challenge for these guys. Pushing around here. Oh, who was that? Somebody took it into the wall. Looks like that was Brian Story. Moses into the pits.
Going on. Yeah, exactly my point. Moses in.
Parsons dealing with the lap car. He gets by without issue.
You know, I think Moses had some side pod damage. I thought there was just some dirt on the library there on the PMR machine, but his teammate looks great.
Hence
the earlier stop.
These guys, Nieto and Parsons get past. Well, this is a tricky pit entrance here, so carry too much speed going in there, you can certainly
That's true. Yep.
Make a mistake there and hit the pits. Well, it looked like Parsons was going to have a look there, but thought better of it. Douglas now running in the points. He's got Kevin Miller on his tailpipe.
Yeah, Douglas yet to stop, of course. Kevin Miller just completed his.
Miller makes the pass on the outside of Gup. Work on Mascarelli. Kirkbride now putting some pressure on Curtis Chandler for 10. So Moses rejoins in 7th after his stop. His teammate Taylor, current points there, in 4th. Parsons still no answer for Nieto, unable to get past. It's pretty much been like that for, let's say, about 14 laps.
There's no question Aaron Parsons has pace on those Neto, and as these laps do continue to unfold, Aaron Parsons will become more and more impatient. Even for a driver like Aaron Parsons, who is incredibly patient and deliberate, everybody's got their breaking point, and if he finds himself in this position after stops, I think he will try to generate some chances.
eye on Ronnie Nunez as he tries to make his way through some lap traffic here. Lost a little bit of time.
Aaron Parsons is going to have a look.
Oh, when he makes the pass stick.
Yeah, got a great run coming there through 5 and was able to make it stick finally. So not much time to reclaim a whole lot of ground before it stops. And with that traffic in front, we can see, but nonetheless, it's got to be a relief for Aaron Parsons right now.
Yeah, you got to wonder how much lap traffic might have played a role in that, Brad.
Yeah, yep.
Parsons now has to contend with Mascarelli. And Omar, one of them takes it off. So it's now up to Parsons to get to work here now and try and reel in Ronnie Nunez.
Well, the gap has already come down a little bit, so don't know what kind of traffic situation Ronnie Nunez may be in, but it's already opening up a bit of a gap here, it looks to me. And boy, you know, that can actually be tough when you do finally make that pass you've been trying to make for 17 laps. And you're no longer right on that guy's gearbox. It can take a couple laps to refocus and readjust, but Aaron Parsons not having any trouble with that. And coming right up on pace.
Take a look at the laps here. 13, Ronnie 23.5. And he's fallen off quite a bit since then. Last lap was a 25.3 compared to Parsons in the 24, so last 4 laps. That pit stop for Moses in and out time was about a minute 50. Let's take a look at Kevin Miller, 2:01. So it's a pretty good stop for Moses. 2:01 for Greatrix. So Nunez clear track ahead.
Yeah, looking good right now. So looking through those lap times, it is Ronnie Nunez. You know, you're actually right out. He has dropped his pace here a little bit over the last 5 laps. Looking a bit further through the field here, does Chris Moses now? Ooh, it's like he did just make a bit of a mistake, but running low, well into the 23-minute range here. So Chris Moses really getting on with the program. I tell you, he can really be making up some ground here. Aaron Parsons continues to circulate out there. The kind of lap times he's running, Chris Moses will gain some ground back.
Yeah, so we'll have to wait and see how this plays out. Ronnie Nunez going to stay out. It's about to start lap 20.
Another 25-1. These softs are definitely giving up here toward the end of this stint.
And his teammate, these two have been running nose to tail pretty much the whole night. Rolf has now leapfrogged his teammate, so Rolf now up to 8th. So very good run tonight for both Greg and Sam. Kirkbride continues to run in the top 10. He's got he's mixing it up with Greatrix a bit earlier, but he's got some open track and somebody. Looks like John Houston getting it all wrong. I'm not sure if he forgot where he was or what, but he took it well off track. Frustrating night for John Houston, but he was back at 20th for a while. Greg Myers into the pits, but Houston now running in 11th. Ooh, Nunez into the pit lane.
Okay, well, here we go.
Parsons
So,
in. Nieto is in.
Wow. Okay, well, now we're going to see what's going to happen here. Now we get to turn to chapter 2.
Keep an eye on these guys. Parsons just behind Nunez there. Taylor comes into the pit lane. Nunez is going to have the advantage here. Yep, he's away. Moses now takes over the lead, so Moses,
Wow.
with that stop, he has jumped up to first, so
I knew he was going to gain some.
yeah, Gates
Go ahead.
pick up some positions there, but Parsons losing out now, comes out behind Luis Nieto by 3 seconds. So now Moses out front. You gotta wonder, not sure if Moses has enough to go the distance. He pitted on lap 14.
1 minute 50 lap, and it was a 2:01 for somebody else who has pitted before him.
Nunez with a 2:07 stop. Nieto 2:05. Parsons 2:11. Parsons really lost out on that one.
Well, that's a fast stop if you're Chris Moses, no doubt about it. So, I'm not sure what's going on there.
Chandler.
That's a rip-off.
Yep, Chandler in the pits. Kirkbride coming out of the pit lane now. He joins in 11. So everybody minus Lou Mascarelli has made a stop at this point. Chris Moses has a 4-second gap over Ronnie Nunez. Aaron Parsons, big loser in that cycle, coming out behind Luis Nieto. So looks like Parsons looks like he does have pace over Nieto, but as we saw last time.
Yeah, that gap, he didn't lose a ton of time to Nunez. I think, but he definitely lost a lot of time to Luis Nieto, who had one of the better stops out there.
Myers rejoins in ninth now ahead of his teammate, so he joined his teammate in the pits. Got Douglas back there in 15th in the points, as is Sergio Calderon. Eiran back in 18th. Not sure what happened to Marty, but he is well back.
Oh,
4:03 pit stop.
4:03, yeah.
Not good for Marty, so it looks like he might have had some damage that needed service.
Well, whatever's going on with Moses, it looks like Ronnie Nunez is quickly closing down that gap. So Moses set a couple 23-minute laps there, and now back into the 125s, very steady. So that is off the pace, frankly, to what we saw those 4 leaders doing earlier. So it could have been like a no tire change. Sorry, Al.
On board now with Kevin Kirkbride as he's trying to make his way past Sam Rolfe for 10th.
Boy, these guys in such a heated battle over that 10th spot. All those guys fighting hard for that position.
Nunez, meanwhile, quickly picking up time on Chris Moses, now just 2 seconds back. Kirkbride picking up a lot of Sam Rolfe. Really closed up on Sam right there. Looks like Sam might have made a little bit of a mistake. Mascarelli taking it off. Moses' lap times, the last 4 laps in the 25s. Nunez, 24.8 last time passed. 3.59 for Moses. So
I really think he could. I think he could have kept those tires on, Al. I think that's a possibility. It's something. He did have a 1:29 lap in there on lap 18, so perhaps it's some damage or something. You threw it off track, picked up some damage, but in any event, Chris Moses was like a sitting duck out there at the lead at the moment.
Moses coming up on these guys, Kirkbride and Rolf. It's like Kirkbride has pace over Sam.
Boy, there is damage on that Moses machine now.
Kevin lets Moses pass without a shot.
I think that's exactly it. I think Chris Moses pushed a little too hard over the envelope after his stop and bent the car and suffered some damage.
Moses gets past Kirkbride and Rolf without issue, and this battle has picked back up here between Rolf. Oh, Kirkbride's going to let Nunez pass. Thought he had made a mistake there, but he's just letting Nunez get by. And Nieto looks like. So top 9 drivers on the lead lap. Now back up to a 2-second advantage, 2.5-second advantage over Ronnie. I'm curious to know if Moses is going to be able to go the rest of the way. 14 laps.
You have to make it 25 laps from there, right? Stop on lap 14.
I'm just saying it's got 14 laps to go.
Let's just take a look at the garage screen here and see if it's saved.
Oh, Moses now back into the pit lane.
Wow. Well, the damage he has, he's certainly not going to fix at this point, and likely take too long for that.
So Parsons gets past. Teammate's going to get by. This looks like it's going to be a pretty long stop here for Moses. So, it's now Nunez, Nieto running in second, and Parsons just 2 seconds off the leader.
Yeah, he sure is. And I have to say, I think Luis Nieto showing better pace here to start this second stint to teammate Ronnie Nunez than first stint. Luis Nieto has nothing to do teammate Ronnie.
So Moses rejoins in sixth, just ahead of Kevin Miller.
That car looking clean now, so I guess he did want to fix some damage.
Back on board here with Kirkbride. Kirkbride is really picking up time on Sam for some of these corners.
Well, he has good pace.
inside of Rolf now, heading up to turn 5. Gonna be nip and tuck. Looks like Sam's gonna hang on to that position. This might be just a matter of time here.
Yeah, it might be. Great racing for those two, though. Yeah, Kirkbride has legitimate 8th, 9th place pace, just, you know, all other things being equal, so you would suspect that he's got a top 10 all night himself.
Miller now into the pit, so yeah, Miller on a 2-stop strategy as well. Expect Greatrix to come back in, which he has. He's actually in the pit lane now, which is coming out. I think probably might have had some contact with the rear of Rolf right there. Meanwhile, that gap to the lead is just 0.8 of a second between Nunez, Nieto, Parsons, just 1 second off.
Yeah, strange. Nieto has picked up so much pace over teammate Ronnie Nunez after the stops here. And of course, Aaron Parsons looks a bit quicker than both. So 11 laps to play. We figure these guys can definitely go the distance. Stops for them complete, and it's all to be decided for here on track.
Yeah, Ronnie with a couple ugly laps there, like 24, 25, 26.
Yeah, not what we're used to seeing. Nope. And especially given that first stint, I mean, guy was just completely rock solid that first stint. Back here and check to see if he's still on the softs. He is.
Parsons making a run on Nieto here. Wow, what is happening to Nunez? His lap times have falling off a little bit.
I was looking to see if I can pick up any damage on that machine. I don't see anything.
Well, I forget, Ronnie won last week at Paul Ricard, so. Middleweight.
Yeah, you think there's some weight gains going on there or something?
Parsons having a look on the inside of Nieto, and it looks like he's going to make it stick. Got a car off stage left, but Parsons gets the pass made. Eiran now, 9 laps to go. Got a sight set on the leader here, Ronnie Nunez. Looks to be in trouble. Kirkbride has made his way past Rolf, so that pass looks like it just happened. Kirkbride quickly driving away now, running in 8th. Nunez 24-9, 24-8 last 2 laps. Parsons 23-9, 24-6. As well.
Yeah, let's not forget it was Aaron Parsons showing best speed on track before they came into their stop. So you got to figure if that plays out the same here in the second stint. No reason to expect that to change. on here for the entire race, Al.
Yeah, under a second now between Nunez and Parsons. Some lap traffic coming up for Ronnie.
Lapping now all the way up into the 7th position, held down at the moment by Gregory Myers, 2 spots away from that possible top 5 I predicted.
Got a bevy of cars up front. There's some Jack Ivy up ahead. Slew of cars. 4 of them. This is going to be interesting for these front runners here as they try and make their way past these lap cars. Marty moves out of the way.
Yeah, could really shake things up.
Jack. Leading this train of cars.
Let me tell you something. This is nerve-wracking.
Yeah, they did a very good job getting through those guys. Not going to give you an issue.
No. Well, settled down a little bit. Now maybe we can see this to the end between these 3 excellent drivers here. Put in a great race.
6 to go. 7/10 separating the top 2 drivers. Nato 2 seconds off the leader. That Brian runs his fastest lap of the race, 24.8. Cuppet having a great run here, running in 5th, so talked about Cuppet in the qualifying about his struggles in race trim. Great run here. Might be a matter of time here for Parsons.
Yeah, and the axiom, you know, catching is one thing, passing is another, is absolutely true, particularly on this track. We saw the kind of difficulty Lewis Neto gave to Eiran Parsons with that better pace, despite having all the weight. So Ronnie Nunez, a little less weight here, could make things very difficult for Eiran.
Parsons, fast lap of the race, 23.3. He is flying. On lap 33, so it's a fast lap of the race. Ronnie can hold off Parsons here. It'd be quite an accomplishment.
Yeah, I'm kind of waiting with bated breath. Ronnie Nunez, incredibly smooth, extremely consistent. So I don't know that Parsons can expect, you know, a mistake to happen. He may have to generate his own opportunity. So a bit of a wheel drop there.
4 to go after this time by. Big moment there for Nunez, and Parsons going to take a look here on the inside of Nunez. Parsons got him.
Yeah.
Well, oh, that was very close, but the pass is made. Parsons takes over the lead of the race. Wow, that little moment there for Nunez, that's all it took.
Yeah, it took a very aggressive line trying to defend going in there to 3. Fortunately, it didn't come to tears, but nonetheless, very close action. And like you say, it is Parsons through now. Race is not settled yet. Parsons still a bit of traffic to work here before the end. And a couple tough laps, but looking pretty good right now.
Oh. All of the track at turn 7.
Yeah, Nunez, you're inclined to be a little bit more aggressive here because the laps are closing down. If he had gotten past with 10 to go, he might play a little bit more conservatively, but it'll push for everything he's got left right now due to just having so few laps left.
Yeah, pretty surprised. I mean, Nunez looked like he was struggling there for a number of laps, and last couple laps by, got down into the 23s, matching Parsons' pace.
Yeah, it could be. I think you were onto something maybe with Nunez thinking about the weight position he was in, maybe going ahead and swapping positions with teammate Lotus. And that kind of went away when Lotus didn't quite have the pace on Eiran. So just speculating on that. Don't know for sure, but
Cuppett sets his personal best, 24.5. Parsons coming up on some lap traffic. Nunez kind of cut off there. Have to check up. That might be the cushion Parsons needed.
well, he's suddenly feeling a lot better, I can tell you that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, barring any mistakes, that's might be nailing the coffin here for Nunez. Run down here, Nieto back in 3rd. Matt Taylor running in the 4th position. And he will not lose weight if he finishes where he is now. Cuppett in 5th. Moses back in 6th. Greg Myers having his best run of the season in 7th. Behind him is Kevin Kirkbride. John Houston. No, I gotta tell you what, Houston made a great recovery this race. Now up to 9th. He was out of the points early on. Sam Rowe back in 10th. Kevin Miller running in 11th, followed by Mike Rakins. Kurt Chandler running in 13th. Buck Douglas on his way to his season best, 14th. First points paying finish in AC for Gup, if he can hang on to it. Calderon running in 15th. Marty, last car in the points. Jack Ivey, 17th, followed by Gomez, Mascarelli, and Watt, who's pitted 3 3 times. He's on a 3-stop strategy. Alright, well that's how we run right now. Parsons now out 2 seconds up on Nunez. Marty now trying to pick up one final spot here on Calderon. This is for 15th. Calderon's going to hang on to it. These guys lap down. Parsons now coming to the line. Start the final lap. White flag is out. Well, we haven't talked about next week's race, but next week we're going to be at the Nordschleife Endurance Cup layout. Talk about a challenge. That is going to be interesting to see. Oh, Marty's got past Calderon, so Marty now moves up to 5th.
So these guys are going to be wrecked after this race.
Oh yeah, this place is a workout. Parsons just a couple corners left here. Chandler just ahead, but he's quickly picking up time here, but Parsons gonna nestle in behind Chandler. He's going to take the win here at Brands Hatch. Nunez is going to finish 2nd. Nieto takes 3rd. Matt Taylor, talk about him much tonight, but quietly he's going to finish there in the 4th position. Cuppin, season best 5th. Chris Moses is going to come around and finish in 6th. Last car on the lead lap. So Parsons, big victory here tonight. Let's bring him in and have a word with him. If I can find him. Aaron Parsons, do you copy?
I do, Al.
Alan Brad here in the booth. Congratulations. Big victory for you here tonight at Brands Hatch. Pretty amazing running between the 3 of you guys, Nunez and Nieto. Nieto must have been giving you fits there at in that first stint, doing everything you can to try and get by him, force him into a mistake. But finally, late in that stint, you managed to get a run on him and get by him. And from there, looks like you might have had a slow stop, come out behind Moses, Nunez, and Nieto, but you went back to work up by the both of them.
Whew, that was exhausting. I had to drive the absolute perfect race to try and beat those two. I was absolutely cursing them when I came out of the pits because I knew I had a perfect stop. I started with a complete full tank of fuel. So I knew the only way they beat me out of the pits was they use less fuel than me. So that really annoyed me and made me extra determined to try and run them down. I knew on the first stint, I was surprised at how much tyre life I had left. So I knew I could push a little bit harder in the second stint, especially with it only being 19 laps instead of 20. So I just went for it, pushed as hard as I could.
Yeah, and it really looked like that was the difference. Kind of in the broadcast booth, really was the tire wear difference. Nunez had great pace there early. He couldn't really close down the gap, particularly with teammate Luis Nieto, holding you in front. But eventually, I think that the tire degradation did play a role in your favor. And I was going to ask you also about just what was running through your mind after coming back out behind those guys after the pit. But instead, I think I'll talk a little bit about teammate John Houston. And he had gotten into a lot of trouble there early, was put toward the back, but was able to make a good recovery. And those are important points you guys are going to need going forward. That was a pretty big night, really, for John Houston. Only came back up to ninth, but ninth place points compared to no place points, that's a big difference.
Yeah, I'm really, really happy with John's recovery. He unfortunately got screwed on the start there. Had to do a drive-through, so he got put right to the back. But I knew if he put his head down, he would be able to make a good recovery because the car was really hooked up and we had the right strategy. So I knew he could do a good job if he put his mind to it, and he did.
So how do you feel like compared to last season of Formula Masters? What do you think it was tricky to drive those cars around here, or which felt more comfortable to you? It seemed like a few times you guys were really fighting the car to keep it on track.
Yeah, these cars, they move around a lot on the tyre, but that's just because of the way the cars were with the old bias ply tyres and stuff. But these cars, to me, they're way easier to drive, whether you're driving at 9/10 or 10/10 on the limit. It's when you go over the limit, it's much easier to control, even though it might look frantic. You can actually recover it much better than the Formula Master or the A-Bath.
So we move to the Nordschleife next week. Race I've been looking forward to watching and broadcasting. You're gonna be carrying a little bit of weight there. You and I know Ronnie's pretty devastating there. How do you foresee your performance there and driving that car around that unbelievable track?
The car's actually surprisingly not too bad around the track. You just have to stay within the limits. It's a bit like Monaco in that all the walls around the whole track are just really close to the track. So if you stay on the track, then you'll be fine. There's nothing crazy about the cars that makes it super hard to stay on the track. It's just a matter of doing it. So just have to stay on the track, keep off the grass and the big curbs, and you should be able to finish okay.
Well, great recovery after last week's debacle for you, but you bounced back with a big win, and we'll be rooting for you next week. Good luck, Eiran. Congratulations again.
Thanks, Al. Thanks, Brad.
All right, Brad. So, well, there you have it. Pretty exciting race there, especially up front between those three drivers. Pretty amazing to watch, the control and the ability to just keep it together at such a pace and such a tricky car and track, and can't get much tougher than that.
No, not at all. I suppose some of the takeaways for me is see Chris Moses struggle a little bit again. Managed to hang on to 6th, which is not, or 7th, whatever it was, not too bad. But he's grabbed that pole position, yet kind of steadily slipped back throughout the race. Had some problems of some sort, and let's call him the second round of drivers, not second tier, but Jonathan Cuppet, of course, had an amazing run up there to fifth place. Kevin Kirkbride, great run for him. Sam Roth, Gregory Myers. So we saw some great action, kind of quote unquote back in the pack a little bit too. So yeah, it was a great event all the way around. And boy, you're absolutely right about next week. It's the intensity is not going to go down. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, so we'll be back next Monday night from the Nordschleife, so it's going to be a great race. Hopefully you guys can tune in for that. Until then, we'll be at Spa on Thursday night in the GT Series for Super Pole for round 5, so it's going to be a great event. It's a single lap qualifying session, followed by a 30-minute sprint race to set the grid for the following week's feature race, 400-kilometer race. So we got 3 endurance races in on Thursday night, so that's the second one of the season. So we'll be there on Thursday. So until next Monday, thanks everybody for tuning in, and thanks Brad for the help. Appreciate it. See you guys next week.